Welcome back to another episode of the Scran Line. Today we are making the cutest little cheesecake. Well, it's not little, it's a normal sized cheesecake, but it's super duper cute because it's got these little fondant pumpkins on top. I bought these from Williams-Sonoma and I had to use them on a cake. So I decided to make a no-bake cheesecake because they're really easy to make and they taste delicious. Now what's really cool about this cake is it's an ombre cheesecake. So I'm going to show you guys how to get that effect a little bit later on. Before we get stuck into the video though, I want to quickly remind you guys to hit the subscribe button because a lot of you watching this video right now are not actually subscribed. So hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon as well so you're notified when there's a new video. The first thing you want to do is make the crust. Super easy guys. If you don't have a food processor, you can just use a Ziploc bag and crush it with a rolling pin. But today I'm going to be using my food processor, and so we want to add the graham crackers in there along with some pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is super easy to make. This is how you make it. The next thing you're going to do is add some pecans in there, or pecans, some people say pecans, and you want to crush them until they're crushed really, really well. So blitz them. And then the next thing we're going to do is add some melted butter just to coat the crumbs. Once you've got that mixed and coated, you're going to pour it out into a springform pan. So a 9 or 8 inch springform pan will work. And you're going to use a spoon to press it firmly into the bottom of your springform pan, and you're going to set it aside in the fridge to chill for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now my cheesecake actually has real pumpkin in it. So we're going to pop some cubed and peeled pumpkin into a steamer, and you're going to steam this for about 20 minutes, pop it out, let it cool down completely. We're going to add it to a food processor along with some cream and pumpkin spice, and you want to blitz it until it's completely smooth. So once it's blitzed, you want to run it through a sieve just to make sure there's no large bits of unblitzed pumpkin, because you don't want pumpkin bits in your cheesecake, unless you do. You want to pop that back in the food processor. I have no idea why I clean the food processor, guys. You don't need to clean it because you're basically just putting the same thing back in there. You're going to add some powdered sugar, some Philadelphia cream cheese blocks, vanilla extract, some cream, and you want to blitz that until everything is super duper smooth. Now, the way that we're going to make our cheesecake set is using gelatin. So to prepare the gelatin, you want to add some water and gelatin into a small mixing bowl. I found the easiest way to mix this is using a fork. You want to let that bloom for 5 minutes. So bloom just basically means that you're going to let that gelatin soak in the water, and then you want to pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to melt. You're going to add that to your cheesecake mixture. And again, you want to mix it until it's really well combined. Now guys, while you are making your cheesecake mixture, it's always a good idea to scrape down the bowl whenever you're using a machine like this or even a stand mixer, because it doesn't always catch the bottom. So make sure it's mixing well so you don't have chunks of different things in your cheesecake. You want it to be nice and smooth and evenly mixed. Now you can see that our cheesecake mixture already has an orange tinge to it, so a very light one, and that's a natural coloring from the pumpkin. So we want an ombre of different orange in our cheesecake. So we're going to be splitting our mixture into 4 separate bowls, and we're going to be adding some orange food gel to each bowl. So more in the darker shade, less in the middle shade, and less in the lighter shade. So the 4th bowl we're going to leave plain because we want it to be the lighter shade of our cheesecake. Now, this part is the most time-consuming part. So it's not hard, it just means that you need to allow each layer to set before you add the next layer. So we're going to add our first layer of cheesecake in there, so the darkest layer, and we're going to pop this in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes. Don't be tempted to pop it in the freezer because gelatin and freezers are not a good idea, they don't mix. So let it pop in the fridge and let it sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes, I'd say, is a good idea, and let it set. Once you've got all the layers in there, you want to let it set in the fridge overnight. I think overnight is best, or you can do it up to, I'd say 3 or 4 hours is a good idea if you're in a hurry. Once our cheesecake is set, the best way to get it out of here, guys, because it is stuck to the sides, is to run a knife around the sides as evenly and as straight as you can. Now, if you end up lifting your cheesecake springform pan up and it looks horrible and it looks messy, there's a really easy way to fix that. You just grab a small offset spatula, run it under some boiling water and just run it around the cheesecake, and it goes nice and smooth again, because that gelatin actually melts when it comes into contact with heat. The last thing we want to do before we finish this cheesecake is whip up some cream, and that's super easy, guys. I mean, whipping cream is like the easiest thing ever, and it's super delicious. I could just eat it with a spoon. We're going to fit the end of a piping bag with a Wilton 6B piping tip, and we're going to pipe some swirls of that cream around the top of your cheesecake. I really love this effect. I've seen it on Instagram a couple times, and I wanted to use it for this cheesecake. Guys, we're going to finish it with like the cutest little fondant pumpkins. You can grab these online. I bought mine from Williams-Sonoma. This is like the cutest cheesecake ever, and it's so delicious. I want you guys to give it a go and then take photos and tag me on Instagram, because I love seeing your creations. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and let me know what you want to see next on this channel. Thanksgiving is coming up next month, and I want to know more about what you guys want to see me make on this channel, so let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Scran Line.